welcome to ToonTales. How's everyone doing? Excited for our last panel of ToonFest Orlando? I know it's a mixed feeling. You're like, yes, I'm so excited, but also it's ending, so I'm also not excited. I feel the same way. I understand. Well, we've got a bunch of tales to tell, ToonTales to tell. So we can go ahead and get started. So just so you know, I'll be talking to our amazing panelists. My name is Whitney. I'm the team operations lead here at Toontown Rewritten, and I'm also the multimedia director for ToonFest, working with our incredible AV team who make sure that you can see and hear us and see the panel, the PowerPoints and everything like that. So super excited to introduce our first person for our special ToonFest edition. So all of these tales will walk down memory lane. I know that's not a lane in Toontown, but we're gonna pretend temporarily that it is. So let's go down memory lane with some of the team members who have been here since the beginning and or are very integral to the success of ToonFest and this event in general. So let's get started with Joey, TTR's creative director. Joey,
Thank you.
Joey.
You guys are awesome. So I wanted to talk about today, sort of take a step back to look at the beginning of ToonFest, because all weekend we've been celebrating 10 years of ToonFest here at ToonFest Orlando. But I wanted to talk about what that very first ToonFest was like back in 2015, especially for those who couldn't make it, which I imagine was most of you. And so first we're gonna play a little game. So for each ToonFest that I display on screen, I want you to stand up if you've been there, starting with ToonFest Orlando, where you are right now.
Everyone in here, come on.
So as I progress through the ToonFests, if it's one that you have been to, stay standing. If it's one that you haven't been to, sit down, and we're gonna go all the way back to the very first ToonFest. You can stand up again if you missed a year. So, yes, you can stand back up for anyone that you've been to. So, starting with ToonFest Orlando, everyone here is standing. What about ToonFest Columbus? All right, yeah. What about ToonFest The Great Fanfare? Lots of people from The Great Fanfare in the house. Going over to Atlanta, it was ToonFest Birthday Bash in 2023. And then here's an interesting one. ToonFest at home. Who participated in ToonFest at home? You can stand up. And now everyone sits down for ToonFest Toon Headquarters Takeover, which was unfortunately canceled. Yeah, here's an interesting tidbit about that. We called it ToonFest Toon HQ Takeover because we were planning to take over Toon HQ with a field office for that event. It kind of worked out that it was canceled because we were not ready by the time. So, yeah, I guess thanks, pandemic.
Yeah. Thanks.
But now, what about 2019 replay effects? And then 2018, also at Replay Effects in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right.
Lots of people over here, awesome. 2017, Replay Effects. You guys are there for the whole thing, that's great.
I was gonna say.
Then ToonFest 2016 in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Okay.
Wow, all right. Yeah, we've got maybe, about 10 people standing still. And now a drum roll for the very first ToonFest. It was ToonFest at OMGCon 2015. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone here who has been around for that whole journey. It is amazing to see your faces back every year. It's one of the highlights, is just seeing these familiar faces. And so with that said, actually, we have a deeper cut here. You know, I said this was the first ToonFest. It was really the first TTR ToonFest. Anyone been to ToonFest 2007?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all right.
The OG.
Sorry, I should be sitting. I wasn't there. Or what about ToonFest 2006? Yeah,
Let's go.
all right. here's a really fun tidbit about this photo. The young girl in front there in the Toontown cat costume is actually one of our artists, Hannah, who was there at ToonFest 2006. She is one of the artists for Clear Coasts. And then on the left in this picture is Toontown's original community manager, Ellen. She was the one who really spearheaded ToonFest for Disney. She was the one who advocated that this is an event that needs to happen because Toontown fans want to meet in person, and we are following in her footsteps, and she's really the whole reason that we have ToonFest.
Yeah, we exist because of her.
Exactly.
We are all here because of her. Thanks, Ellen.
So we actually have a video from Ellen where she talks a bit about what that first ToonFest was like.
On August 26, 2006, we made Toontown history with the very first official fan fest, all about the tunes and all about you, the community. We called it ToonFest, and it all happened at the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. As Toontown's original community manager and a lifelong Disney fan with a background in Star Trek fandom and sci-fi cons, I knew the magic that happens when fans connect both online and face-to-face. It was a bright, sunny day packed with laughter. The Disney Channel was filming for Disney 365. The Big Cheese was out there causing cog-sized mischief. We had live Toontown computers so players could jump right in, and the energy was unforgettable. My favorite moment? Judging the very first Toontown cosplay contest. Seeing whole families dressed as their tunes filled me with joy, and I'm beyond thrilled this tradition still lives on today. Were you there? I'd love to hear your story.
Oh, I'm like tearing up.
So those folks that were at ToonFest 2006, please reach out to Ellen. She'd love to hear from you. magic@ellen.org. This will also be online later on in the week. So, we, looking back to our first ToonFest, we really were in way over our heads. We weren't really sure about this idea. I'll say I wasn't sure about this idea. And it was actually one of our public relations people at the time. His name is Jacob, and he's actually here today. Jacob, if you want to stand up. Yeah. We didn't really have the title of producer back then, but I would say that Jacob was our first ToonFest producer. He was the one who was helping reach out to conventions, advocating to us, like, no, this is something we need to do because Toontown fans will love it, and we have a large enough player base to do it. So he was integral to starting Toontown Rewritten's ToonFest. He is also the voice of Clarabelle Cow in the catalog in Toontown Rewritten. Oh yes, and the dreidel, yeah. So if you want Jacob to do a Clarabelle Cow impression, he has a booth downstairs. You can check it out after this panel. Now, most of you are used to seeing the Toontown booth like this, right? Here's how it is at ToonFest 2025. Let me show you how it looked in 2015.
A little different, just a little bit.
Yeah, as sort of how it started, how it's going kind of thing. So yeah, we had a table, we had a jelly bean bank, a phone in the hallway, and really just bare bones, like there was no convention floor that we were on. We were literally just in a hallway with people lining the walls on their laptops, their personal laptops that they brought, playing Toontown. Yeah, they did shove us in a corner. Because honestly, the convention was kind of like, yeah, I guess you can come. Like, I don't understand what this is, but sure. And they very quickly realized. So we announced only a month and a half before the event actually started. We had over 200 people show up, and they were floored. And this was a pretty small convention too, like sort of only like 2,000 people total. And so they were just in awe. And then like the next year that we went back to OMGCon, they were like, we'll give you whatever you want. Like, and so here's some pictures of some of the costumes. We didn't have a costume contest per se then. This was just people, fans who showed up on their own accord, dressed as their tunes. A lot of them actually are on our team today. We have, and pictured here, we have Laura, who's in quality assurance. We have Susie, who's one of our producers we'll see later. Bree is in social media, and speaking of Bree, she was actually the very first fan that we met at ToonFest. We ran into her in the hotel the day before ToonFest 2015 started, and she's now one of our social media specialists. This was the very first in-person Toontown team photo. And then this was our most recent Toontown team photo that we took yesterday. And, meeting fans has always been one of my favorite parts of ToonFest. And if you want to see me making a fool out of myself, there's a video on our YouTube channel of me doing the victory dance with fans at ToonFest 2015.
Yeah, we've
And
used it in some of our promo videos too. Maybe not so happy for Joey, but
yeah. Well, I'll say I still know that dance, and if you ask me, I'll dance with you. So, yeah. And also, look, it's Susie. Okay. Let me try.
There we go.
I'm a little rusty.
I'll give you space.
I'm a little rusty. I think I missed this
Flawless.
stuff. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, I missed the in-between. I'll practice before we get back to the booth. Anyway, so we also had panels back then. We only had 2 panels. And much like here at Animate, our panels then were packed. We filled the room so much that they moved us to the main stage the following year. And of course, it makes sense that 10 years later, history is repeating itself, and ToonFest has grown so much that we can barely fit in this panel room. I will say we have talked to Animate and GalaxyCon a lot about this. We're going to correct that for the future. We're going to make sure there's plenty of room for Toontown fans going forward. And so on this next slide, I have a clip of the very first panel and sort of the intro to that panel. In this video, I'm 16 years old and nervous out of my mind.
I know you checked with security at the door, but I am required to inform you that all ties, bow ties, and briefcases are prohibited at this event. So, and just to make sure, we do have to do a routine clock check. It's just standard procedure. So when I say, "Are you tuned enough?" I want you to scream and cheer and be as obnoxious as possible. So tell me, are you tuned enough? Yeah! All right. Let's try this one more time because I do see a suit down here. So tell me one more time, are you tuned enough? Yeah! All right.
And you may have noticed, but I opened our first panel of ToonFest 2025 with that exact same spiel.
Yep.
I watched that video over and over again, even though I was cringing every time, memorized it, and tried to recite it in honor of 10 years of ToonFest. These were our panelists for that panel. Jacob is over there, the one pointing. And we were all beyond nervous. Backstage, we were hyping each other up, giving each other encouragement. But as soon as we got on stage, the Toontown community immediately got rid of our nerves. They made us feel like rock stars. And to this day, we rarely have a difficult time being nervous getting up on stage because you guys are always so kind and welcoming to us. And oh man, sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit.
Someone have the tissues? Can we?
So just wanted to say thank you for always being such welcoming people to come up and talk in front of. You make it easy. The first convention also birthed member mailers. That was really important to us. We didn't want our convention merch to be exclusive to the people at the convention. We wanted to share it as much as possible with Toontown fans around the world. So we started the member mailer program, which Whitney still runs today.
Yeah.
And so you can send in a self-sealed envelope to our address that's on our website. There's instructions and everything. It gets sent to a P.O. box near Whitney. She very meticulously stuffs the envelopes with all sorts of Toontown trading cards, the ones that you guys have here, but for the folks watching online at home, you can get the same Toontown trading cards that people at ToonFest get. And we've continued that tradition for every single one of our events.
And don't worry, I do talk to Postmaster Pete. I do get a nice jelly bean stipend every month, so don't worry about it. I'm good. I can always send you guys your cards.
Yeah. And we also love getting fan art in the member
Yes.
mailers. A lot of the artwork that you see back at our booth that's hung up on the wall is artwork from those member mailers. And I have a giant box in my garage of like every single piece of fan art we've ever received over the past 10 years.
I'm starting to get my own.
Yeah,
I've got like
yeah.
a huge pile of it now.
Exactly. That's why you're running it now, not me. I ran out of space.
True. That's true.
But nonetheless, so member mailers are great. From there, ToonFest exploded. We went back to OMGCon in 2016 and had an amazing time. We started seeing those familiar faces come back. And, we had over 500 attendees there, and ToonFest has only grown since. It's a really rare thing for conventions to be going on for this long, especially, fan conventions for communities like this. Usually 10 years in, they're starting to fade and sort of drying out. But we're really excited to say that this was our largest ToonFest that we have ever had yet. Our panels have been more attended than any other panel at Animate Orlando this weekend. That includes all the celebrities, the Has Been Hotel people.
Yeah.
The Toontown fans are coming out in droves, and everyone is mind blown about it.
Huge shout out to all of y'all.
So it's a really special thing that ToonFest is still thriving, and that's truly thanks to all of you. That's my time, and I'll pass it back to Whitney.
Yeah, thanks, Joey. All right, next up, we have one of my besties, Susie. She is going to talk about being a player at some of the original ToonFests, and now she's one of our incredible planners. So let's give it up for Susie.
Hi, y'all. Thank you so much. Does it smell like whipped cream in here
Yes.
to you?
It does.
Okay.
Does anyone else smell that? I can't get rid of it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited to be with y'all today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey. So I know there are a few folks that were still standing for 2015. I was there in person as well. And it was just such an exciting moment for me personally to be able, for the first time, to come and meet some of the folks that I have been playing with for years as a kid on Toontown Online. And so this has been just such a magical moment for me in 2015 and 2016. And so there's just a couple of photos so you can see. Julie, you're upside down. What happened? I don't know how she ended up like that, but I got to talk to Clarabelle on the telephone and make some really great memories with some folks. And so I missed a couple of years in there, 2017, 2019. And then I came back in 2023, still as a player. And then in late 2023, I ended up joining the team as a Discord moderator. And in Oklahoma City, I was one of our shift managers on site for a lot of things going on there. And so I'll get into a little bit more details here shortly on like what all of that process looks like. But while I was there as a shift manager, I offered to take the inventory list at the end when we were tearing everything down. And I think Joey got it in his head that I might be good at organizing some stuff for us.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Crazy. So they asked me to step up as one of our production folks. And in Columbus, that is where I came in as one of our associate producers. And so you start to see me pop into some team photos there. I got Tony really well with some of those pies.
I'm so glad you put that GIF in there.
Whitney worked really hard on those.
I did.
photos
I
for
worked
me.
very hard.
Tony may have gotten me back earlier.
Yes, he did.
But then for Orlando, this has been my first ToonFest as our full production director. So this has been really special for me, and I've been really nervous about getting into the role just because I knew there were so many magical moments for me, for my friends, and for all of you too. But I've been really excited to be able to help out in that way. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit more for all of y'all on what it takes for us to actually plan a ToonFest of this size. So some fun facts for everyone. We start this project. We got Ellen. And so we start off these projects usually 8 to 10 months before we get here on scene. We involve all 13 of our departments on the team. We've got about 130 volunteers right now, and pretty much at some point or another, basically everybody on this team touches this project, whether it's here in person or helping us out online digitally. We typically have around 50 to 60 volunteers that'll come and help us out in person. We've had the most ever this year, and I want to give a huge shout out to them. Can I have our volunteers in the room stand up for me, actually? Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you to everyone. And I hope I'm not going to steal Susie's thunder real quick, but we also we have our 130-ish team members or something, but we also all of us have friends and family that come and volunteer with us. They're not on the team. They just love us and they love supporting us and they love all of y'all. And so we bring our family members and friends along on this journey to help make this as great as possible for all of y'all. So a huge shout out to all of them as well.
Yes, thank you. So they have not only donated their time, but their talent and their treasure as well, because these events cost us a little around $15,000 to be able to put on. We internally fundraise that each time to be able to bring this to all of you. And we have our most ever volunteers in person this year, which is about 71 people. The folks that aren't here in person, they're probably helping out at home. So I know we've got a whole social media team that's been behind the scenes working with Cookie to make sure that we get all of our Instagram photos up and spread across the joy to the folks that couldn't make it here in person too. And so, like I said, it takes us around 10-ish months to plan an event like this. So I want to take everybody back now to around July of 2024 is when we first started thinking about, hey, what are we going to do in 2025? And so in July, now keep in mind here, we haven't had Columbus yet. So we're doing all of this at the same time as we're getting up through the lead up to get us through to Columbus.
December 2024, yeah.
So the first half of this timeline is us, while we were planning Columbus, thinking about, hey, what's our website going to look like? And who do we need to involve with that? What is it going to be in that Toon Enough pass? What's our t-shirt going to look like for all of you to be able to wear? What's that pin design going to look like? How soon can we get that out to y'all so you have time to be able to actually grab some goodies, right? And so there's so many people involved with that process alone. We've got all of our artists that jump on board, from everything from our sketches all the way through our renders, our websites. We've got our web developers involved in, more of our artists. And then we start to move into August and September. And so that's when we start to think about, what kind of panels do we want to bring folks? What are people going to be excited for? And obviously there's some moments where we might pivot that. So we didn't have that locked in. We didn't know how much everybody was going to love ToonTales until we actually got to go through it with y'all in Columbus. And so we thought that went so well, we actually pivoted a little bit to make sure we had ToonTales in Orlando too. But that's when we start to think about those things. In October into late November, we started picking out our trading card designs. And those renders pretty much carried through all the way into June, into July for us. So we have folks that go through sketch phases. We have folks that get into our designs and then into our renders. And so that takes a lot of time and talent. We have creative writers that'll put stuff on even to the back of the card. So we think through a lot of these extra special important details because, again, we know how much this all means to y'all. So then we got through ToonFest Columbus. We kind of hit the brakes on everything else related to Orlando. And we came back after Orlando. After Columbus.
I don't want to talk about after Orlando right now.
We hit the brakes for a little bit, and when we came back, we did our retrospective. So that's when we all come together as a big team, and we talk about, hey, this was great. What do we want to keep doing? And what do we want to change? What do we want to make better? How can we make things better? And so we sat on that for a little while. We did some reflection, and then in January and February, we start to meet as a director team. So just the core group of us that are working through our planning phase. And then in February, we start to bring all of the rest of our team members kind of back into the project, and we ask them to start taking on some of those tasks. So we bring the trading cards back. We started talking about the ToonFest video. We started talking about the convention merchandise. The poster is something that also went through several iterations starting in February, and again, all the way through until July. And then we also have some of our panel presentations that we've been putting together. We started talking about panels really in May to make sure that we had all of our content together and lined up for y'all. And then in late July, we were judging our online Toonies submissions. We were working with some of our Toontown online friends to help us out with the judging and coordinating all of that. And then it was time to get to be in person with all of y'all. So while all of that was happening, we were thinking about our volunteer organizing. So what does that look like as far as organizing 70 folks? We have a team hotel block, so we were organizing the logistics of getting whoever wanted to stay in the team hotel block into their rooms, coordinating payments, coordinating food. So we have, I don't think Jess is here right now, but Jess has been our food manager for this year, getting all of our catering orders lined up for the team, making sure that they were in the right spot when folks were hungry for dinner. And then getting our shirts ordered. So you might notice we're in these lovely pink ones this year. And then Whitney talked about it a little bit earlier, but we had our event volunteers who were able to bring some +1s with them. So we made sure that they all have their nice badges, if you haven't seen some of our badges. And then our, again, Joey talked about it, but our event volunteers have been helping us for multiple years. And so then once everybody's on the scene, we start planning and coordinating what our booth is going to look like. So June mapped that out for us. This is what we would show our volunteers normally about what that's going to look like. And then we kind of take that vision into a reality. So we have folks that are moving stuff around Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday was an all-day thing for us here. People were around making sure that everything was where it was supposed to be. GalaxyCon brought us all of our stuff. They are lovely enough to store it for us, and they bring us our 2 pallets, and we unwrap all of it and make sure that it's all in where it needs to be before y'all get here. So here's our reality, right? This is what our setup looks like. So you can see like some folks putting up the archway, blowing up all the balloons that we have on our anvils out front. And then we've got a video. Oh gosh, that's loud. There's Ellie making a guest star appearance. And so that's just what it looks like when we get our banners up for everybody. And obviously it doesn't stay there, but it's one of the first things that we get to put up together for everyone. And so here's our lovely volunteer team from Columbus. They were going through the same thing. Thank you. And that means that once the setup was done, we're ready to be here with all of you in person, get to experience all of that community and all of the lovely events with y'all. And we've blinked. I don't know about anybody else, but like the last 48 hours has like gone by so fast. And it's so sad, right? We're on our last day. But after tonight, we're going to pack everything up and we're going to start thinking about what comes next. Where are we going next year?
Yeah. I think we'll blink and it'll be next year.
Yep. So like I said, we prepare for our next ToonFest. So we do go through a whole teardown process. It's a little bit of a marathon. We'll be here 6 p.m. tonight after all of you lovely folks go home. We'll be bringing it back, wrapping up our pallets. We got Chuck on the screen. Chuck has been a phenomenal person that has helped us with GalaxyCon in the past. He taught us how to wrap pallets. I didn't know how to do that before, so thank goodness for Chuck. He's up there. I promise he was good, and he knew exactly what he was doing on those chairs. So once, like I said, once we have that all packed, we send it back with GalaxyCon, and they hold it for us and make sure all of our goodies are safe for the next year.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Susie.
Absolutely. Thanks, Whitney.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, we've got June. I think you all know June.
Hello. I'm here to talk about shipping shenanigans. So yes, this one is full of twists and turns for everyone because we experienced it. So behind the scenes with planning, we also coordinate overseas with a bunch of organization. But before I get into that, previous booth expansions, we created a cognation by hand by Joey and his father. We ordered more banners to expand.
I mean, also expend.
Our money, I guess.
Yes.
And then we drew more out-of-game inspiration, such as Mario Brothers and the Animal Crossing. My favorite was, I'm biased, I love the Animal Crossing booth from PAX East. Yes! So we were like, we want to make you guys feel like you're really walking into Toontown. So how do we do that? Let's create signs. So last year for Oklahoma City, our goal is to create at least one booth expansion a year. So last year was all of the signs. And so we were like inspired by all of the in-game things. And we were like, all right, what do we want to do? First step is finding a manufacturer. Um, for those who don't know, there's a website called Alibaba, and
Shout out to Alibaba.
shout out. I have over 100 messages with a bunch of vendors.
They know us.
They know us.
Yeah.
They send me personal photos of them, by the way. They want our business again. So we sent a bunch of quotes and we were like, hey, we need like all these things. So once we have an idea of how much we need to budget for and earn, we go into sign concepts. So these were some of our sign concepts. I am so sorry, I cannot remember the artist who worked on this, but I believe it was Joey's idea to be like, let's get it this way to Toontown. So we have these early concept signs, and then we were like, we needed to make a stand. So we originally were like, let's make Toontown really obnoxious and big and bubbly. Let's maybe do blue and yellow. And then we were like, no, let's make it like Toontown Central, because our booth goal is to be more like Toontown Central, because that's where we all start. So as we kept working, these were our finished designs that we actually sent to all of the manufacturers. As you see, Gags Ahead actually had a gray base. And then we were like, ooh, that's a little too coggy. Yeah. So these were, when we started our manufacturing, they sent us back like, here is what you guys will expect with your signs. And this was like really cool. It was like, wow, it's like starting to feel a little real. And then it's still gray here, but then we went back and like they showed us the finished signs and we're like, oh my gosh, can you guys please make it green, please? So so it's green. So here are the finished signs that were all the way back in China, and they were ready to be shipped, or so we thought. The cogs arrived.
Yep.
So,
as they do.
So unfortunately, we had a twist here. When we got this quote, I believe it was supposed to be only $1,700, and that's a lot of money for us. And so when we earned all of this money, they came back to us and they go, we miscalculated. We actually need like $1,500. And so we were scrambling. We're like, oh my gosh, we don't even have that money. What are we gonna do? And I'm a baby when it comes to like trying to confront people in terms of like talking to them. So Joey came and saved the day. And so this is actually our internal message. So I am not going to read all of this, but Joey basically came to the team, and this is my favorite part. This is how crazy it is to get a rally of our amazing team members here. So Joey posted this at like 11 a.m. And as you can see, this was literally like 20 days, like less than 20 days before OKC. So this is a little stressful. And he's like, oh my gosh, we need $1,500, guys, let's go. And then like 30 minutes later, he's like, oh my gosh, guys, we got money. And then surprise. And then he goes, oh my gosh, Electric Boogaloo Part 2. We got more. And like, and this is, oh my gosh, what is this? This is like almost 12 o'clock. Like this is within an hour. And I was at work when this was all happening. And then he's like, oh my gosh, guys, we funded it by 12:40, like the same day.
Yeah.
It was crazy how fast, and it just shows how much we are trying to like give you guys the best experience. So we were like, oh my gosh, these boxes are finally coming to OKC, because we were like, oh no, they're not going to show up till Columbus, and that would stink. So this is a video of us unboxing it, and I don't think I can play the whole video just to save time, because we have time. We have time.
So we're going to show the whole video.
The whole video. Yeah. It's like 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Let's start with the sign factory.
So
now,
this is us.
Really
The crates came to the hotel room, and we were unboxing it. So there they are, just hanging out in that big, lovely crate. And there's our team members during OKC setup. And then the signs arrived, and there they are. And then they broke.
Yep.
So they survived for 2 events, and then we came to the realization literally this Thursday, and we opened it up and we're like, oh gosh, it's broken.
This doesn't look right.
So Gags Ahead stayed good, so that's good. But I guess this way to Toontown didn't make it so far. So Whitney and Devin, and I am forgetting so many people, but there was a lot of people involved with making sure that we save this sign because we're like, ToonFest starts literally Friday. We have to figure something
We
out.
need this sign. We spent a lot of money on this sign. We love this sign.
Yes.
We're using this sign.
So there's Devin and Whitney performing surgery on this sign.
Yes.
Just to save the day for ToonFest Orlando. And honestly, that's all I have for this one. This is just our crazy sign story. Just like the Fish and Tin stories, I feel
Yep.
like we just get a lot of twists with our merchandise and decor.
It's
And-
always interesting.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, June. All right, next up, you know him, you love him. We've got Tony.
Hi.
Hello. What are you going to tell us today?
So, I'm going to be telling about a 10 years of Toontown, a pintastic story. So, to begin, I want us to go back in time to the ancient time period of 2022 and 2023. With TTR and ToonFest becoming around 10 years old in the next year or two. And we wanted to make a 10th anniversary pin, you know, just something to really celebrate the occasions for both these things coming up. But then that's when I came across this blurry image online of a pin. And I'm like, what is this thing? Like, what did I just come across? And so I'm just like, all it said is like on this Reddit post of like, oh, this is some kind of 10th anniversary pin. And, you know, immediately piqued my interest. So of how blurry it is, honestly, it really felt no different than like some kind of Bigfoot sighting. I'm like, okay.
I mean, come on, I see it. I
Sure,
see it.
I guess I want to discover Bigfoot, I guess. So, I dug a bit further to realize that nobody is really talking about this item. And images were incredibly scarce. Like, on top of that blurry one, there was probably 3 images online of just this, like, really blurry item. And there was, like, nothing to go off of. Like, literally the best I could find was, like, this person who said, yeah, my friend saw it at this house where his dad went. And I'm like, I'm saved. I know exactly where to look now. But no, seriously, I had no leads. I was like kind of like tempted to give up. But then I discovered it was right under my nose. It was screenshotted and sent to the preservation project. And we finally had a clear look at this thing. And again, the only description that was put for the preservation project was that this item was only given out to Toontown Online staff members to celebrate the 10th year anniversary. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty big because the game shut down like 3 months after or something?
Yeah.
So, like, that's crazy.
What a pin.
But yeah, literally. And fortunately, there was a credit for 2 people who helped submit it. One being a person named Football Toon.
There you go.
There he is.
There he
That's him. Matching shirt and all. With this crucial piece of information, I finally had a lead on like someone to talk to who had some knowledge. And Football Toon pretty much said, I don't have it. I have no, like, not to misquote you, but like, yeah, he was like, well, what happened is that this person, someone online that he found was posting about it on Twitter. And so they got into contact with this person to essentially ask them like, hey, can you take some high resolution images of this and submit it to our preservation project so everyone could see it? And that's how they got it. And I asked Football Toon for more details. And essentially all he said was that it was exclusively given out to staff members, as you may have guessed, during the 10-year mark of the game's existence. But it is limited. How limited, I'm not sure. And that comment really made me start to think, how limited is this pin? So that's the question, right? And so I started asking around, and usually you would guess like, okay, if people who worked on Toontown Online got the pin, that'd be around 500. No. What happened is that you also had to have been there during the 10th year, of course, because it was the 10th year anniversary. So I was like, okay, so that probably limits it down to around 200. But no, not only that, I got in contact with one of the employees who would have been qualified, and they said, no, I left, shortly after, or I transferred departments. So this number cut it down to 100. And not only that, you had to have been specifically in the Disney Interactive department, which means this number was as low as 50 because people that worked at like Shell Games, for example, couldn't have gotten it. So it's
Yeah.
like, wow, okay. That is an insanely low number. And at this point, I was running out of steam. I was running out of hope. I was like, there's no way I could find these people who are probably no longer in the industry anymore, who even remember this little metal item from 10 years ago that they probably, some of them are just like, here's a pin. All right, we're shutting down the game. And I'm like, whatever, I'm chucking this. But then I got in contact with Ryan McDonald, which some of you may notice. He was one of the judges for the Toonies that just happened yesterday for the video submissions. And in retrospect, I probably should have used a better photo, but this is how I saw him when I reached out.
You're getting the real experience of this mystery journey.
An amazing mustache, may I add.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
For those who didn't attend the Toonies or just need a bit more, Ryan McDonald was a original Toontown Online producer who you may recognize for a short little clip I'm going to play from an old nostalgic Toontown Online show.
Get connected, where we connect with the latest Disney games.
What's up, gamers? Today we're gonna hang out with Ryan. How you doing, man? Good. Ryan is the game producer here at Toontown Online headquarters.
Yeah.
That is so 2000s coded. That is insane.
I was like so tempted to play the whole thing, but another time, I guess. But Ryan was not a part of the Toontown team when it shut down, actually. He said that he knew some people who were, though. So I went from immediately like, oh, yes. And he was like, no, I don't have him. I'm like, dang it. But he said he'd reach out. And so I just had to wait. And I waited. And I waited. And a lot of time passed. And at this point, I truly was accepting that it was like pretty much impossible to get this Bigfoot item, that it was just something to be accepted. Cookie's laughing out here in the front.
Bigfoot item. Because anyone didn't hear that.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot item.
It's the Bigfoot of Toontown, kind
Uh-huh.
of. And it was just like, I guess that's it. That's just how it is. It's just another amazing story for us to think about and reminisce, and another future mystery. But then he found it. A tech manager by the name of Dickinson Lowe that he was friends with reached out and took a photo and sent it to me. And at first glance, like when he sent this photo, I processed something crazy, that just by him sending this photo to me, he increased the amount of photos that existed of this thing by like 25 or 30%. It was like, what the heck? So both Ryan and Dickinson, for behind the scenes, they've been cheering on Toontown Rewritten for a long time. And so when we were talking, he was just saying that, and they were both really happy to just see the spirit of Toontown Rewritten live on. And to show this appreciation from one toon to the other would be donating this pin to Toontown Rewritten for everyone to see at the Preservation Project. So I guess the question I gotta ask is, do y'all wanna see it?
That's what I thought. Hold, please.
I lost it. No, I'm joking. There it is. And again, reminder, this will be up for everyone to see later on today at the Preservation Project. So, again, going back, talking with Ryan, we never may know how many of these pins actually exist. He even speculated something around as low as 50 or 25 or 100, somewhere around that ballpark. However, one thing is for certain. This pin is much more symbolic than just any piece of metal. To me, it's like a symbol of like Toontown's longevity. It's not only just a celebration of the developers with Toontown existing so long, but a celebration of just the whole community. And in the past year, like we've now given out Toontown Rewritten 10-year anniversary pins for both the game and for ToonFest, continuing this tradition of like celebrating momentous moments and milestones that not only we as a community could have accomplished only 1 year at a time. And hopefully one day we could get one up here that says Toontown 20 years or something like that.
What do you think? I think we can make it happen.
I realized I was holding it upside down too.
I wasn't going to tell you. I was just going to let it happen.
Yeah, better not have gotten photos of it upside down. But yeah, that's my story, and that's the adventures of finding this rare pin. Thank you all so much, and make sure to find it.
Thanks, Tony. And yeah, you can check that pin out at the Preservation Project at our booth after this panel ends. All right, we've got Joey coming back up. Thank you.
Hello. So for this last part of our ToonTales panel, we wanted to share some stories that you all have given to us, and then I've got a story to share at the end as well. We've had these cards that we put out yesterday for ToonFest. We meant to put them out a little sooner. Sorry about that. That allow you guys to write down a memory that you've had of ToonFest, and we've been hanging them up on our art wall, and we're keeping them as well, just for our own little scrapbook of memories of the 10th ToonFest, and all the ones before it. And so I've got a couple to read here. Well, I guess I'll have Whitney read them. The first one comes from Jacob, aka Fat Coconut Crunchy Bubble. Are they in this room?
Yeah,
There he is.
All right. Yeah. So your ToonFest memory is winning the Toonies. Congratulations. And meeting so many cool people at my first ToonFest. Winning the Toonies at your first ToonFest is a pretty solid experience.
Absolutely. We've got another one here from Richie. I think Richie's in the room, the person who was at the very first ToonFest. Maybe he had to step out.
Oh, there you are.
There he is.
And like Joey was just saying, Richie went to the very first ToonFest in Burbank, California in 2006. My Toontown shirt still fits, and I wore it here for this one. OG player from day one, 2003. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could fit in a shirt from 2006. That'd be pretty cool. But no.
And I guess I've talked to Richie a lot this weekend. He has this really cool thing that he did. So he has a Polaroid with him from ToonFest 2006 where he got a picture with one of the COG costumes there. And of course, here, all these years later, he got another Polaroid with Flunky in the same shirt, perfectly recreating that.
It's
it was
perfect.
amazing.
Full circle. A lot of full circle moments this ToonFest.
Yeah. This next one is by Pepperoni Pizza. Oh, I see. Pepperoni Pizza. Are they? Oh, yeah, there they are. And look at this amazing artwork they gave with their memory.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible. That's so good. Yeah, okay, so loan sharks were mentioned at the Ron Weaver panel. There was one currently in the room, and everyone turned and cheered for them. Highlight of that COG's career. So true. Yeah, he peaked early. That's it.
Yeah.
It's only downhill.
COGs probably aren't used to like a lot of applause.
No,
usually.
probably not. Yeah, I'm sure they don't get any at work.
Yeah, and so we have another one here from Lunatic. Is Lunatic in the room?
Yeah, celebrating Clear Coast.
Anyone else get to try out the Clear Coast playtest this weekend? Yeah.
All right. I actually haven't done it myself. I need to.
Yeah. Well, and so Lunatic has a shout out as well for a lot of the team members who worked on
Yes,
Clear Coast.
so many team members. Mike, Gabe, Elise, Dan, I think Dan, Maya, and others.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope that you guys have enjoyed playing Clear Coast. Please keep sending us your feedback. If you haven't filled out that feedback form yet, let us know what you think so we can make that playground better. And then we also have one from Ned. Some amazing artwork here.
Playing checkers. I
and
love
here's
that.
Ned. This next one doesn't have any text, but some more amazing artwork from, I want to say that says Spire?
Spire.
Spire? Yeah, they are.
All right. Spiral. Okay.
Spiral.
Got it.
Great recreation of taking some photos with
Yeah,
Flunky
that's
at
so
ToonFest.
good. I'm blown away by y'all's skills.
And then this comes from Daphne. Is Daphne in the room here? Here's Daphne.
Daphne's. I'm sorry, I just saw the club president in the corner that says, "Why didn't you draw me?" It says, "I can't believe this. I made this trip by myself from South America just for this game." That's incredible. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here, meeting people who I know from the game, getting nice stuff, and sharing with a lot of people. This game has a lot of meaning for me, so this event will have. Thank you so much, and I will absolutely butcher the rest of it.
In Spanish. Muchas gracias por recibirme a mí y a Daphne estos años. Thank you so much for receiving me and Daphne for all of these years.
Thank you so much for coming.
And then we've got one more late-breaking ToonFest memory. I didn't get to put this one on the slides, but this comes from Ben and Daphne.
Oh, yes, Ben and Ariane. Yes, getting
Or sorry, not
Ariane.
Daphne.
Is it Ariane?
Ben and Ariane.
Okay. Getting engaged underneath the ToonFest arch at 2024 Oklahoma City ToonFest. Spoiler alert, she did say yes. And now we're back and married, and our hearts have been so incredibly full, getting to connect with so many beautiful souls. We love all of you. And yeah, this one's not on the screen because we did just get it, so we didn't have time to slide it in. But I was able to take photos of that proposal, and I remember getting the sneaky message that it was going to happen, and just being so excited and ready to just capture that moment for you all. I'm so happy that I was able to do that, and so honored that you chose our booth to do that at.
And so we have all of those ToonFest memories and so many more that you guys shared with us. They're going to be on display at our art wall. Like I mentioned, we're keeping them for the future as well, so those memories will be carried on. And I think this is a great tradition that we should continue at ToonFest.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is actually Whitney's idea to
Yeah.
do this. I do want to close out our ToonTales by sharing my ToonFest memory with all of you. So, over the years, we've had really great times at ToonFest. No, sorry, it's not nothing. There's going to be more.
It's there. There's a little bit of suspense here, you guys. Come on.
So I first want to talk about spending time with the team and how I've been able to make so many lifelong friends working with these incredible people. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes at ToonFest that you all might not know about. Some of them have been mentioned over the weekend. Some of my favorite times are these like story time lore sessions where the team will gather around. Rather, they'll sort of like hunt me down
Yes.
and be like, "Joey, what is going on with Slappy?
Yes.
What is going on with Cognation?" And we'll sit around, we'll chat. I'll tell them all of the inside secrets of what's going on with the 200 story. We also do these late game nights every day this week. We've had people up into very late hours of the night, even when
Not
they
all
have,
people, not me.
Not all
I'm
people,
much
but
too old for that.
like we love spending time together at ToonFest, and so we've done these game nights, and even when people have early shifts, it's just a lot of fun and this tradition that's come about. We've done some post ToonFest trips to Disney World as a team that have been incredible. We're doing one in this upcoming week. Maybe we'll see some of you there. And we have done way too many last-minute panels, very late at night working on panel slides. We are mostly better now, but I will say that I wrote this slide at 2 a.m. last night, so.
You are a repeat offender
I
of
am.
doing that.
It's really me.
Yeah,
I think I am the problem.
When he says we.
So I don't typically share much about my personal life to the Toontown community, but in reflecting on these 10 years of ToonFest and hearing so many of you be vulnerable and tell me these stories of how ToonFest has impacted them, I wanted to open up to you all about how you guys have impacted me through ToonFest. And first, ToonFest 2015 is where I overcame a lot of insecurity. I was an awkward, shy teen, and I mentioned earlier, like the way that you all welcomed me there when I very nervously and sheepishly got out on that stage helped me find my confidence and helped me overcome so many insecurities and turn me into the person I am today. At ToonFest 2017, I was able to meet Jesse Schell and Sean Patton in person. Yes. And they have become very good friends of mine that eventually led to me, my career, working alongside them and underneath them as a professional game designer. And let me tell you, Jesse and Sean are still some of the biggest Toontown fans you'd ever meet. they are always so bummed when I don't bring ToonFest back to Pittsburgh. You know, and they have very busy schedules, but I know they would love to come back to ToonFest in person, like Jesse did in Columbus. In ToonFest 2018, the drive home from that is when my girlfriend, who is now my wife, told me that she loved me for the first time.
So sweet.
And so my wife Sam and I, she's been a ToonFest volunteer every year since 2017, except for these past two, because about a month before ToonFest Columbus, we had a baby boy named Benny. And Benny is, the youngest Toontown supporter that we've got right now. You know, he's
Look at that face. How that is the happiest baby I've ever seen in my life.
He is at home with Sam. During both ToonFest Columbus and ToonFest Orlando. I literally can't wait until the day I get to bring him to ToonFest and share this experience with him. He just turned 9 months old the day that I was leaving to come down here. And I miss him a lot. The last one I wanted to share is one of my favorite memories I have of ToonFest that was really most personally dear to me is coming back home from each event and telling my grandmother all about it. She was my #1 supporter, one of my best friends, and truly the biggest Toontown fan in the whole world. Her toon name was Ginger Giggleby that you see up there. She never made it to a ToonFest, but watched every live stream, read every blog post, was a Reddit user. She was like, she was on the Toontown subreddits, like chatting with all of you. She would tell me about like Toontown community members and like, oh, have you talked to like so-and-so? I heard they were going to ToonFest. She cheered me on every year. She passed in 2019, but I still believe she's been cheering me on every year since.
She has.
And these are very personal memories to me, but I have to say that like these major life moments have shaped me into who I am, and that is in large part thanks to you all, because of you showing up to ToonFest. Like there's so many kind, amazing people that I've met here that have inspired me and have sort of helped me through these major life events, even if you didn't know that you were helping me through those life events. You give me so much encouragement and love that I will never be able to repay, no matter how hard I work on this game. You may not have known that these events in my life are happening around ToonFest, but the way that you supported me all through all these years truly fills my heart. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you. You have helped me make memories that are going to last a lifetime, and I hope that I've been able to help make memories for you that you'll be able to take with you from this weekend that will last a lifetime as well. Truly love you guys, and thank you for making this great.
Oh.
Thank you all so much. We're going to get a quick message from June. All right, so we had to check to make sure that we had enough for the folks in here. They did a head count. Everyone who's in this room today is going to be walking out with a Cogs Inc. notepad. Like I mentioned, they're very limited in supply, so it's one per person. But be careful what you write on it, because as it says at the top, Cogs Inc., your thoughts are property. Anything you write on that is the intellectual property of Cogs Incorporated.
Yep.
Thank you all so much. We will have the Toontown booth open for the rest of the day here at Animate Orlando. Please stop by and see us. If we don't get to see you, safe travels home and have an amazing event.
Thank you for coming,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.